Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and these are my top 3 Salomon Backcountry POW decks for the 2020 season. Backcountry and POW, that's a fun little place to be, and these are the 3 boards within the Salomon line that really stand out for that type of riding. We have the HPS, the Speedway, and we also have the Super 8 well-rounded boards that all feature tapered directional style shapes. The noses are actually quite a bit wider than what you'll find in the tails. They all have sintered style bases that absorb tons of wax. They're going to be faster than extruded bases if you keep them maintained throughout the season. And they have Popture core profiling, thicker sections underneath where the bindings rest. Also in the center of the board with milled out thinner sections on the medial side of the bindings for kind of an easy kind of a flex. Now, they all have similarities. They're all for backcountry and for POW riding. You know, that's where hopefully you'll ride them. But you can take them kind of all over. If you want to free ride with them on groom trails, you can definitely do that. First up, we have the Super 8. This is a well-rounded board. It has a topographic map of Mount Bachelor, a great place where you can rip this thing. Has a medium flex of about a 5 with a 15mm setback stance. Now, out of all these boards, I feel this one's probably the most torsionally rigid because of the basalt fibers that you see inlaid along with the fiberglass. And you'll see those right there through that clear section of that top sheet. Full length stringers of basalt fibers that kind of make the board a little bit more torsionally rigid, even though it has a feel flex of that 5. It has a backseat camber profile shape, meaning that underneath the front foot to the contact point, the board has a flat section with a gradual sweeping rocker style nose, whereas on the medial side of that front insert pack all the way to the tail, there's camber. That camber provides stability at high speeds, good ollie pop where you need it, and when you compress that camber, the nose will gradually start to rise up. And another thing to note kind of about all these boards is that they have a gradual style sweeping nose, and they're not going to plow through snow, they're going to plane over the top of it. And then again, you know, they do feature that sintered style base, which is going to be extra fast. The next one is the Speedway. Now the Speedway has a 20mm setback stance, quite a bit. This one is probably going to be the one that you can take probably at the highest speeds. Has a feel and flex of a 6. Maybe not as torsionally rigid overall as the Super 8, but it is going to be fairly damp and lightweight despite its large size. The biggest one that they have in the lineup is 170 centimeters, which is a really big board, but it does feature a dampifier on the nose and the tail, honeycomb that reduces the swing weight in the tips and keeps the center of mass closer to, or the center of mass towards the center of the board, which is great. And also shares the same profile shape that you'll find in the Super 8 board called the backseat cam. Camber in the back end, flat on the nose with a gradual sweep. Now, lastly, this is a pretty wild one, but pretty much specifically for POW. It's called the HPS. It's the Hillside Project. Willie Novette and Taka Nakaki, is that how you say his name? I should know his name. But this is a well-rounded POW style board. As you see, it has the greatest amount of taper. The nose is extremely long. It has a setback stance of 30mm and a feel and flex of a 5. Cool looking bamboo style top sheet. And then it has, of course, bamboo and cork in the sidewalls to make the ride extremely damp. And there's a slight change in the profile shape of the HPS. It's called powder camber. Camber behind the front insert pack all the way to the tail with a little early rise. But instead of having a flat zone on that nose, it has a gradual style rocker. So you'll notice that there's quite a bit more of a gradual sweeping rock that you find in the HPS. Now, even though we're talking about the kind of backcountry POW style category, if I was to only ride POW, I would select the HPS. If I was going to get into some really steep lines and really big mountain stuff, I would choose this one, the Speedway. And if I was going to do kind of a combination of both, but maybe find myself in some tight spots like some trees, I would choose the Super 8 because of the tighter side cut radius. These are all really great backcountry POW boards. You can still take them anywhere you want to. They're super fast. They got a lot of fun stuff going on, and they're from Salomon. Make sure to check them all out at thehouse.com by selecting the links below right now. And hopefully, I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.